So here we have a wee sad case. This is wee Ali. She has been in some other videos. She was the last minute save. Her mum was Coda, and she was actually on the short list to go on the trailer with the cull cows. And then right at the very end, she's freshened up and looked like she was gonna calve, and here we are. We have little Ali. Now, I've been working with Ali for the last, well, 24 hours. Tried to bottle her yesterday, and she was not having it. Now the reason for this is her mum is no longer in this pen. Her mum developed lameness, and I checked her foot over and I could not find anything wrong with her foot, so it must have been something in her hip or one of her joints. I think it might have been some sort of a viral joint infection, because she went downhill really quickly. I gave her a course of antibiotics, and she never did come back. She fell down a couple of times. I righted her up, rolled her over onto a fresh side, managed to get her back on her feet. And then she went down 2 nights ago, right over there by the bale ring, probably get shoved by one of the youngsters. And she kind of fell over herself, sort of in a bit of a low spot over there. So, and she laid like that all night, because we don't do night checks right now. So I managed to drag her up the pen till she was kind of calmed, and then I got her rolled over, and no, she never recovered. I was coming out today to do the deed, because I was pretty sure it wasn't gonna work, and she was already gone. So yeah, another legend has left the Shire farm. Kind of sad, but so now we have this little princess. Yeah, she's not quiet yet. I kind of get a sneaking suspicion she might have already weaned, because I think because of the way her mum was going downhill, she stopped lactating. But little Ali sure does love oats. So this is how close I've got her, where at one point she couldn't stand me being in this pen. She was trying to bang her way through the gates, but now she's coming to the pale. I tried a bottle yesterday, it didn't work. I'm going to try it again later on, but I have a sneaking suspicion she's weaned, and it's pretty hard to put a calf back on milk once they're weaned. So that's why I'm using oats right now, and then I'll try the milk after. But like, it doesn't go well, we'll just put her onto water. But yeah, she's gonna have to be on some sort of a ration, because she's way too young to be weaned. She'll never make amount to anything. So, and there's no cows that we can right now graft her onto. So yeah, here's our latest little pet of the farm, little Ali B. So we are moving the cows up to the paddocks by the yard. Cold up in. Wind chill's getting to -20. As you can see, the stream is froze over, but there is still liquid water flowing down the ravine. But the problem we have is some of the cows, older cows, heavier cows, whatever, come down to drink from some of these open holes, can slip and fall, and we have lost some animals to slipping on ice before. Mainly the old ones, and trying not to do that anymore. But taking that off the plate. Like I said, we're moving the cows up. They were pretty well done cleaning up the piles. Because yeah, right now it is wind chill minus 20, is a 30km/h wind, and these poor girls don't need to be standing out in the absolute finnert wind. And plus, from an economical standpoint, economical standpoint, they burn energy a lot quicker, and this means you go through food quicker. So, get them up around the yard where they can shelter. Eventually we will have one of the corrals set up where they can come inside to get out of the wind, because as much as we have trees, there is a direction, and funnily enough, the direction today, from the northeast. Outside of the yard, there's no protection from the wind from the northeast. In the yard, lots of protection. So, that's what I'm doing. Yeah, one of the bale rings took off on me and it's now down in the cabbage. Okay, so, yes, I know, it's nighttime. No, it's not one of these where I only work at night. I just figure at night when it's cold and there's not much you can do, that's when it's best to just do tractor stuff. So, the Great Wall of Bales, which protects the whole yard for the winter, I've got to the point where I'm up against this old crap pile. Now this comes from, this whole backyard was scooped up into a pile, and there was a whole bunch of crud in it. Wood, shingles, car parts, aliens, just random stuff. So I ended up just being the burning pile. This is where everything went to be recycled. But now, as we're getting things to where we want them to be, where this yard is going to be semi on the direction to be finished. It's never going to be finished. So what do we do with it? Well, we have an old gravel pit where our cattle go to their final resting place. Recycled. And so that's where this is going, because it's full of nails, it's full of bits of metal and stuff, and yeah, I know, very dangerous going in there with tires. Problem being is my skid steer will not reach into the trailer. I've tried, it's very hard. It reaches up to the top just over, and then you have to like flick. It's very dangerous. So yeah, I'm going to tentatively scoop and try and get down to the ground and lift everything, so I'm never driving on that stuff. I'm driving on new ground. That's the plan. Bear with me, you know how my luck goes. Now this trailer, you might have seen it in previous videos, this is one of the grain trucks that we bought with the farm when we moved here in '95. It was a Louisville. I'm trying to think if it was a 700 or an 800 Ford Gasser. So yeah, there's that one, and then there's the other totally red trailer. There's no white stripes on it, and that was an International Loadstar. And we had a friend east of here who is a bit of a welding whiz, and for a great price he offered to cut the frame and not just section it, but actually add on its there you go. Actually added on a good chunk of steel for a proper drawbar. So this trailer is the one that I'm going to be building into, I think this is the one I'm going to be building into the silage trailer for the chopper. But right now it's for hauling fruit. So, that, there, go. So yeah, that whole big pile of crud is gone. That pile is still there, but it's not in the way. It's actually just topsoil, that pile. Actually, it's more turf than anything. So yeah, this will go on over till there, and I think I'll go just to double stack to go around the corner, because it's hard to get this triangle stack to go around corners. Like, that was hard enough. because there's a big pile of soil and stuff in where this gap in the trees is. So yeah, that was fun, but that's a little bit sharper. So like I said, I'll take that as far as it'll go, and then double stacked to the corner there to where that fence is, and then that should protect this whole part of the yard. And then as the cows, next week we will start training the cows into this pen, and that way we can do our big wean, where we let the cows out, hold the calves back, and yeah, that'll be it. Weaned, because they are plowing through bales right now, literally plowing through them. 4 bales a day. Now there's a lot of animals out here, but yeah. Hello. Oh, it's Jetstar. Hey darling. Okay, I better get on. It's blinking cold. So yeah, can't really make that out. Been having issues with poachers coming onto our land, trying to grab some deer. There's another one, and I don't know if you can make that out. There's a third vehicle going down the back road. One at the front is one that we saw before, because I can tell by the headlights, it's got the LED headlights on the truck. Oh, pesky. Ah, finally, after a month of waiting. Shale. So at least gonna get a couple of loads in here to fix this road up, but we're not gonna do any shale in the pens because there's no way to pack it in because everything's froze already. But we're gonna stockpile it though. But yeah, around here this is like I said, granular concrete. Had a bit of an issue where his tailgate froze up on it. It's one of those air gates. But we'll get her done. Get her done. So Mrs. Piper Doug, hi honey. She figured, well, we've got lots of bales, and they're talking of a right stonker of winter this year. Might as well be prepared and protect the yard, especially with little babies. So I got one more bale to put in here, another top bale, and then that'll be done. Are you happy, honey? Yeah, so storm, zombie apocalypse, either way, we're pretty good. So yeah, as you can see, crap pile's gone. Yeah, there's a reason it's got a little bit of a wiggly diggly in it there, because there's a pile of dirt back there. I think I talked about this already. No big deal, still covered. So I'm hoping to get the bales done hauling, because we're going to be processing, not processing, but weaning the calves here in the next week or so. Want them to be done by the end of November. Still got to re-drill these holes again now that everything's frozen, but any of the stuff that's back in there is sort of like gravelly now. It's not like hard. Hard. So it should come out of there pretty good now and not fall back in as bad. So once I'm done hauling back into this yard, because I'm going to be putting bales down the back road as well. As you can see, our I don't know what to call it, our blind, our vision wall. See, when we process the calves away from their mums weaning, we throw them down into that south pen, and then we blank off the pen so the babies and the mums can't see each other. Now they're still gonna holler like mad, but at least that they're not standing there looking over the fence at each other. So yeah, that'll get done eventually. There'll be a double bale wall going down this wall and then down that wall. That one's getting done first because we need that to close off that calf pen. This one we can do after weaning. Put another little wall back there because we do have some right stonker winds coming in off that field, and it can end up burying this water trough. And yeah, Superstar. Hey, V-Star. Hey, V-Girl. So yeah, we have a few rogue calves breaking out. They're at that stage now where they're Satan's little helpers. Speaking of that, there's 2 in the silage field right now. So yeah, that's one of Piper Doug's favorite times of the year, between letting the animals out in the spring and then weaning the calves and locking them up. That's one of my favorite times of the year. The noise doesn't bother me. The fact that they're locked up and they can't break out anymore, me likey. Anyway, I'm gonna go and bring in some more hay bales because we're caught up with the low quality hay that we're using for back end feeding before we open the silage pit, because that'll be soon. So yeah, I'll go get at that and I'll bring you back.
Getting to the like Christmas, all in bloody time.
Okay, so where are we at now, Piper Doug? Because might be 1 or 2 of you waiting for a video, because I haven't uploaded on time. As you can see, it's a little bit cold. If you can see cold, here I think you can actually see cold. So, while I wait for machines to warm up, if you can make out, look at my truck. Yeah. 7.3 baht, 7.3 F250. So yeah, started to put the frames up to extend that pen down, make it twice the size, and obviously that wall will save wind coming in here until those grain bins could move, because I was hoping that would be done this fall, this winter. Probably going to be next year. Has to be next year, yes. Anyway, so all the bales are in for the blind, so that stops the babies looking at their mommies. And then the blind stroke windbreak up that side of the pen, and now starting to go along the south side, because we'll wrap the whole lot in bales, because we have a lot of bales. Yes, we do. Look at those poor old ladies out there. It's blowing a gale from the north, absolutely blowing. It's like -10, -20 with a wind chill. So what are we doing? So what happens now, because we plan to have the calves weaned by the end of November, which is coming up quickly. So this pen here is what we do. So I'm going to set up panels from that panel there across to that gate, because the calves can go through that feed rail. Once I rebuild the feed rail, it won't be an issue, but for now it is. And those cables, so we have to go from that panel across to there. So we have a whole bunch of these extra panels, so we'll do that, and then we'll create an alleyway from that gate out to the field, and then we'll start feeding the mums and babies in here. Probably covered this last year, but just for all those that have joined the journey that is Piper Doug. So what we do is, anyway, we start feeding in here, and then we pick a day that it's gonna work, and we will feed out in the field, but we'll have shut the whole lot in here. So then the mums are motivated to go out that gate and away. So then I just stand in the gateway, and the mums will walk past me, but the calves won't, for the most part. They'll try and sneak by, but for the most part, all the mums will walk by. The last year or two, Mrs. Piper Doug has helped out. A couple years before that, I'd pretty well doing it by myself. It'd only take about half an hour to wean 100 head. But it's kind of handy, Mrs. Piper Doug, because you're normally going to get no more than half a dozen cows that will kind of get spooked. So they'll stay back here and they won't come to the gate. Eventually they will, but you know, you don't want to stand there for a couple hours and get cold. Anyway, so that's what we do. The mums will go out. If we get to a stalemate with a few cows left, then what we do is we close that gate, that one, and then we have a panel and gate set up here. So then we sluice the calves round and into there. And then at that point, we can get the calves out and leave the cows behind. And then we'll work either or until they're done. Typically, what done means is there's 2 bulls left standing in here, because there's 2 bulls out there. So once the calves are in there and the mums are back out to the field, then the bulls will go into the next pen. And that's why I'm trying to get that pen ready, because that's where they have to go. And then we'll grab the other 2 bulls that are over here. That's where we're at. Whole bunch of gum flapping. Okay, start moving some panels around and I'll bring you back. Not the smartest bunch. Toasty! Now you're figuring it out. Yeah, it's kind of funny. It never even didn't even cross my mind to show this, but here we are. So we haven't had a whole heck of a lot of snow so far. But what is coming down is now getting caught. Sweet!